Motors and Meats here. We're going to do a quick one today, taking care of the coil packs and the spark plugs. I have to take off the bumper and the mufflers. I've already done that, and to show you that, here's a clip from whenever I did the gundo hack on the car. We're down to the mufflers. All we have to do is unbolt them now. There's a couple of bolts on the back side, and then there is a clamp that holds the pipes coming out of this onto whatever pipes are coming into it and out of it. So we just take those off, and then the mufflers will slide right out. Up next, we've got to remove the heat shield, and that means a little 8mm and a 1/4" drive socket, and that is right down here. So we've got this bolt right here and the one just like it behind this oxygen sensor and behind the wheel that you probably can't see. Just 2 bolts that hold that on. Alright, you'll see this is actually going through one heat shield and into another. But to get to the coil packs and spark plugs, we just need to remove this upper one. I saw one video suggesting that you needed to remove the O2, the oxygen sensor, but I've also seen instructions that says you don't, so I'll let you know what I end up doing. I like Pelican Parts videos for just the bare facts of how to do a job, and they said you just make sure you take those 2 out and that you don't have to bend the heat shield. I guess there are people out there bending their heat shields. So let's find out. Alright, really tricky. The way this piece is bent at the end to protect the front side of this front coil pack, it prevents it from being able to slide back that way. So we definitely need to go this direction. So just a little bit more wiggling and we should have it. There it goes. Alright, you saw it happen live, so you know it can be done without taking off either of the oxygen sensors. On top of each one of these, there's a clip that you just have to push in the tab. You heard it snap. And then this plug on the top of the coil pack will release. I've got a plastic pry tool I'm going to try to use to help it along, since there's really tight quarters in here. There's the snap. And, oh, there we go. Ha, got it. These things do have a good bit of a suction hold onto it because of the waterproof connection. So once it gets going, it'll come on off. But I still don't want to break anything. There's a lot of heat down here, So I'm just easing it up. And there's one off. We'll repeat that on these other two, and then there is a T30 that actually holds the coil pack in, and we'll pop that into there. I can see that possibly being the reason why I didn't remove this O2 sensor, because I don't have the straightest shot right here, but I think I can manage. And here you can see that plug. You press in on the bottom of this tab, and while pressing in, you get something underneath there to lift that straight up and off of the top of the coil pack. You probably don't have to have an extension quite this long, but that's the one that's in my hand. Yep, it broke free just fine. Just put a lot of pressure on it since you're not going in dead straight. This last one would benefit from having the wheel removed, so I could use an extension and get in here, but it does look like I can get the socket directly where I need it to go, I think. Yep, there we go. Broke it loose. I should be able to just finish by hand. Like most things working on this car, nothing's really hard. It's just a matter of getting your body and your hands where they need to go to be able to reach the fastener you're trying to get to. And now that all those are loose, we just need to pull these guys out. You heard that suction sound, it wants to come out, and that's where it attaches to the spark plug. We'll get a good look inside of there in just a moment. Now for the actual spark plug, I've got a 16mm thin wall. This is a 12 point, I don't know if that's necessary or not, but these have a swivel head, and I just got these and have been itching to try them out. There we go. Things were tight. Now I will tell you that I am at least 10,000 miles overdue for a spark plug change. And the reason I'm doing this today is that I was getting a terrible misfire check engine code, actually about 11 check engine codes, all pertaining to misfires. So after we put this back together again, hopefully that solves that problem. There we go. I always do this. I always try to find a way not to take something off that needs to come off. You should always watch my videos, know I'm going to do it wrong first, and then do it right second. So take the freaking wheel off. That way, look at this. That way, look at this. It just goes straight in, and there's no obstruction. Even with taking the bumper and the mufflers off, there's a bolt or nut right here that has to come off that you have to squeeze past the tire, and that's a pain in the butt. And then the muffler itself mounts right here, and you got to squeeze past the tire for that. Pain in the butt. Take the tire off. This is easy. Just finishing up putting the new spark plugs back in. Next up, the new coil packs. Big difference between the old and the new. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd appreciate it if you did. It helps the channel to grow, and it lets me know that I'm doing something worthwhile. So thanks again for watching. Last up is to reattach these connectors to our new coil packs, and then of course put everything back on, heat shield, tire, you know, everything, and then we'll pick back up there and make sure everything actually works like it's supposed to. Alright, I just finished putting in the new plugs and the new coil packs. I have not put the muffler back on, so that means we get to crank it with muffler delete. So it's not fully muffler delete, because if you know 997.2 and forward, those cars had a center muffler. So I do still have my center muffler. Let's see what it sounds like. And let's hope that everything works right. Fingers crossed. I think we're good. Rear lid not closed. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think we've got it fixed. If not, I guess we'll get some codes back again. There's a couple other things like the variable cam position sensor that we can change if we have to. Hopefully not. Hopefully this has it licked. I cannot stand when this car goes into limp mode. It cuts out half the cylinders and it runs absolutely terribly. The only other time it's going into limp mode was when I was dealing with the belt. If the belt is worn out or the belt tensioner is not doing its job and the belt stretches just ever so slightly, at certain RPM it picks up a vibration and it tells the engine that it's misfiring even though it's not. I took care of that and had not seen an issue until this one. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I will not have that many more mechanical issues that I have to deal with. Hopefully we can move on to more fun stuff that we get to deal with instead of have to. And also the 994 is coming back onto the channel. It'll be back real soon. We've got it running. Everything's working like it should. But anyway, thanks for watching again. Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you next time.